Wales versus Scotland, guys. Jeepers, what a cracker of a game. That Murrayfield Stadium was absolutely electric. And that Welsh side really came to play, didn't it, guys? Guys, in this video, I'm going to be covering three main areas as part of a review of the match. So, which sides played well in the different areas in the first and second halves, so a bit of a review of the game. Secondly, we'll cover off some pretty interesting match statistics, so stick around for that. Some really good insights on both Scotland and Wales. And then finally, we'll talk about at the end who are the key players from both sides in the match and some potential Lions bolters, guys. So firstly, analysing the match. Yeah, the first half, jeepers. The intensity was certainly up. I thought that both teams, they really played at some speed. There's a couple of pretty good tries for Scotland in that first half. Just the Welsh defence tried to hang in there, but that Scotland attack was just too slick, too fast. And then ultimately there was a pretty good try in response to Murray for Wales just to keep them in the game, but ultimately halftime score 28-8 Scotland. It was always going to be a tough ask for Wales to come back from that halftime score. Jeepers, they did their best though, didn't they? This Welsh side, they certainly came out, and the thing from me, that second half, that Welsh defence was absolutely immense. They just kept coming at that Scotland attack, and multiple phases by Scotland, and to stop the tries they did, that was seriously impressive. Wales also, followed up with a couple of pretty well executed tries, I thought, and a much different second half performance by them. Key talking point of the game was that disallowed try to Murray. So, was that actually a disallowed try? Or I think they probably did make the right call there, but jeepers, if that wasn't a disallowed try, it could have been a completely different ball game. So I think the big thing there, though, you can see that the real spirit and pride that Welsh team now has back in the jersey, which I just felt in previous weeks, you haven't seen that real fight and pride that Welsh side has in that performance they did against Scotland. In the end, look, 35-29 to Scotland. Actually, quite a close game on the scoreboard, and obviously only 6-point win to Scotland. So again, that disallowed try to Wales, if that had been a converted try, obviously it's a different result. I think if you look at both teams, look, firstly Scotland. So look, they're a pretty well-drilled team, really, aren't they? They know their combinations. They've been around a while. Finn Russell at the helm. He runs a pretty good ship. He knows what he's doing, and certainly they're pretty physical on defence. They come up, they bring that line speed. They're pretty effective at the breakdown. Let me know your thoughts on this, though. I just felt in that second half for Scotland, I just felt like they lost a bit of that edge, which they'll be pretty disappointed with. Certainly, I felt on attack that they just didn't keep coming at the intensity that I would have thought they would against this Welsh side. I don't know if complacency is the right word, but certainly at that halftime score, it was probably always going to be in the bag for Scotland, and you did notice a bit of a drop-off for that Scotland side. This Welsh side, yeah, I mean, the key moments, a couple of tries scored by Scotland in that first half, which really hurt them ultimately in the match. The second half, though, completely different side. Certainly on attack, they really executed a couple of really effective tries, and that defence was very spirited and really tough for that Scotland side to crack. Very impressive. I think the big thing for me, though, look, obviously 16 games in a row now lost to this Welsh side, so it's not good on paper, but I mean, you look at the performances they're putting in, and they're spirited, they're tough. They've got a number of Welsh players, you're really young, but they're playing with some pride and really taking it to the opposition, which is pretty impressive. The other thing I think, and let me know your thoughts on this, you listen to the quote, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Now, in a nutshell, what I'm meaning there is obviously 16 games in a row. These young players, they won't ever forget the adversity that this Welsh side is facing at the moment. But yes, as I've said, with these tough times, you can see those young players, they'll remember this adversity and how good can this Welsh side be in the next 2-3 years. That is really exciting. And I go as far as, the adversity they've faced, is this future Welsh side going to be a Welsh side capable of things that previous Welsh sides haven't done before? Can this Welsh side in future years be the first side to beat the All Blacks? Wowee. Can this Welsh side and this group of players be the first Welsh side to win a Rugby World Cup? Something to ponder anyway, guys. Statistics of the game, yeah, pretty interesting really. So I think you look at possession and territory. So Scotland 55%, Wales 45% for possession, territory 65 and 35 for Wales there. And so yeah, pretty even, but ultimately territory pretty well dominated by Scotland with their kicking game, which was interesting. Tackle success rate, not a lot of difference there really. So Scotland at 89% versus Wales at 88%. So they're certainly making their tackles pretty evenly. Penalty count, Wales 11. So not a lot in the game there in that regard. Defenders beaten, Scotland 33, Wales 17. So significantly better there for that Scotland side. And then obviously offloads. So Scotland 16 offloads versus Wales at 1. So it does show that Scotland is a far more attacking side than Wales in the offload manner. But I think the key message there is, yes, Wales didn't win the game, but it's a lot of those stats against a very good, experienced Scotland side. They're not as far off as probably what a lot of people think. You look at some of the key players. So Finn Russell for Scotland. Let me know your thoughts on him. Look, he's another week in a row. He was good. His game management was very composed and very structured. I didn't see hardly any razzle-dazzle by him though, which was interesting. A very mature Finn Russell, I think we've seen a couple of weeks in a row. Gareth Anscombe for Wales. Look, I thought he was immense, wasn't he? I thought his leadership was very strong. He looks calm and composed with the adversity that Wales is facing. I thought his attack was good when it's on. He executes well, whether it's a chip kick or a grubber, or spinning the ball wide. Look, he was pretty good for Wales. Some of the young players for Wales. Blair Murray for Wales at fullback. Look, he's immense, isn't he? A real attacking threat. He plays with no fear. He takes on the opposition with absolute raw speed. He had that disallowed try. But yeah, guys, an immense player for the future, isn't he? Real attacking prowess, isn't he? And potentially, guys, let me know your thoughts. Is he a potential Lion player in the coming months? The other one from me, Jack Morgan, the captain for this Welsh side. So young, but jeepers, the courage he plays with. He won a number of fantastic turnovers for that Welsh side. He carries the ball so hard and so powerfully. And then, look, on defence, again, he's so powerful. A real inspiration for that Welsh side, isn't he? For such a young man. Another cracking performance by Jack Morgan. Look, in summary of the match, guys, let me know your thoughts on what was key in the game. What do you think won the game for Scotland? What were the key players or the key moments for you in this match? How do you think Wales is tracking? Obviously 16 games in a row they've lost now. Do you think things are actually much better than probably what people think? And do you think this is a really promising Wales side for the future? Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and chuck a comment down if anything else you need to add about the game. And feel free to share the video with friends and family. Cheers.